Okay, so there was a question, or rather a comment, that I think is quite a good one that we'll address first to start out with. It says, I'm having a hard time believing that an entire country is being destroyed because of karma. Okay, so there is a misunderstanding here. An entire country is not being destroyed because of karma. The war in Ukraine is occurring because of afflictions. Okay? Not because of karma. It's occurring due to what is going on in the minds of people right now. Yeah, what their motivation is. If you say it's due to karma, that sounds like it's fated and predestined and nothing you can do about it. And that is not the Buddhist view. Okay? It is the motivations in people's minds. And so you can look at, depends on what you've been reading, what Putin's motivations have been and what the motivations have been of his advisors and the motivations of the Russian young men who have gone to fight, and now there are Syrians and Georgians who are coming to fight on the Russian side too. And also the motivation on the side of the Ukrainians. Yeah. So the motivations, the intentions are happening now in this life. Okay. So, if somebody wants power, if somebody's craving power, craving wealth, craving control, then those mental states, and you can see, we went through studying about craving before, all these different kinds of craving, what people want, is the motivation, at least from the top, we assume, for sending arms and soldiers into Ukraine. It didn't happen by accident. It's people's minds made that decision. We want to take over that country, or, whatever their goal was initially, And then when they can't just march in and say, give it to me, I want it, then they get angry, and the craving is even stronger to have it, and their reputation is at stake. So that makes a really strong craving, because they don't want to lose face and show that the military isn't so good, or their soldiers aren't so good. So they get very angry, they get frustrated, and because of the strength of the craving, they will do anything to get what they want. And that includes bombing residences, bombing hospitals, schools, stopping the Red Cross from going in and evacuating people. So this is a really good lesson in the power of afflictions and what afflictions can do to us, And here you see it on an international level. Many people, Putin and his colleagues or cronies, whatever you want to call them, having a very strong motivation, and then having the power to call other people in to fight the war for them, so they're safe physically, although they're tormented mentally, and they're terribly afraid because their whole reputation is at stake. But it's what's going on in people's minds now that is making the war happen. Okay? Because if they didn't have those thoughts, the war wouldn't happen, would it? If Putin was sitting and meditating on the four immeasurables, and all of his generals were meditating on equanimity, where would be the motivation to invade the country? And without a motivation, there's not going to be a war. There's not going to be an invasion. So you see, it's the afflictions in people's minds in this life now that are the cause of it. Yeah. Now, where karma comes in is, why are certain people born in Russia? Why are certain people born in Ukraine, or now in Syria and Georgia, yeah, in the US, in all these different countries? Yeah. Why were certain sentient beings attracted to human bodies in these countries? Why did they take rebirth as human beings in these countries? That is where karma comes in. Okay, because karma, the first result of karma is the maturation or ripening result, and that is the result of the five aggregates, the body mind that you're born into, the realm you're born into. Okay, so Putin had some good karma to be reborn as a human being. Yeah. So did all the other human beings in this whole scene. Yeah. They had some good karma from keeping ethical conduct, so they were born as human beings. Now that does not mean that they have to fight a war. Okay. Yeah. It's because of the afflictions in their mind this lifetime that are motivating the war to occur. Yeah. Why are we not born in Russia? Yeah. Why aren't we one of the young Russian men being conscripted into the army? Why are we born, wherever we were born? We have an international group here. And why are we all in the US right now? That's because, why we're born as humans. Because of virtuous karma, this is the ripening result. And then we have other cause, the cooperative karma that ripens as, what nationality we are, where we happen to live, and so on. Okay? So is that clear to people? Yeah? Because there's really a tendency sometimes, people just say, oh, it's karma, it's karma, it's karma. And His Holiness, when we were working on the book and talking about karma, he said, when people say, oh, it's karma, what they're really saying is, I don't know. I don't know the reason for this, so I just say it's karma. Yeah. But not everything is caused by karma. Earthquakes are not caused by karma. They're caused by the physical laws and what are earthquakes? What are earthquakes caused for? Well, there's physics involved, isn't it? Yeah? Physics laws or something. Who knows about earthquakes? Yeah, we don't have a geologist here. But anyway, okay, calling geologists, come and ordain.
Against each other, and then they slip, and that causes.
Right, yeah. But what I'm saying is that has to do with a causal system that is a physical causal system. Karma does not make the two plates move. Okay? Karma doesn't make the volcano explode. It's the compacted heat and energy inside the earth with a crack where it can all come out. That is why the volcano explodes. Okay? Why is there a tsunami? There's physics comes in, I think, this rattles and then the waves go and yeah. Oh, Yeah, and I won't even try and say what kind of waves they are, but some kind of waves. And the water moves and it crashes down. But those are all physical causal systems. Karma is its own causal system. Okay? We have biological causal systems, chemical ones, physical ones, okay, psychological ones, and karmic ones. Okay, so they come in, as cooperative conditions for at least the war, but it's the mental factors and the people who are fighting who are behind it. We hear tales, I don't know how true it is, but there's a lot of news that reports that some of the Russian soldiers are putting down their arms and leaving. They refuse to fight. Okay. So, that's their individual motivation. And, they're creating karma by that. Putin and his cronies are creating karma. But the reason they're doing what they're doing is afflictions. Okay. And so why we're not born as Russians or Ukrainians, that has to do with our previous life karma. But you see that there's some young Americans who want to go fight in Ukraine. They don't have Ukrainian ancestry, but they, feel like this is a war that is much more worthwhile than Iraq or Afghanistan, and they want to use their skills, and so they're flying to Poland and crossing the border into Ukraine and fighting with the Ukrainians. They're doing that because of their motivation. Okay? Clear? So we can't just say, everything's because of karma. No. Okay? And we have to remember that it's afflictions that create the karma. It's not karma that creates the afflictions. It's afflictions, and virtuous mental states. Yeah, there can be virtuous mental states too that are creating the karma. Okay, so it's not that the country is being destroyed because of karma. It's being destroyed because of ignorance, anger, and attachment. Yeah, that's what the whole thing boils down to. And we have ignorance, anger, and attachment in our own minds. So seeing what those mental factors can do and how harmful they can be to the world, to ourselves, to our future lives, you look outside and you say, this is a Lamrim teaching on what happens when there is an uncontrolled mind and ignorance, anger, and attachment take over and control the mind. This is what it looks like. And this is what my own ignorance, anger, and attachment can do if I were put in a certain situation. Yeah. So I don't want to be like that. What's going to keep me from being like that? Yeah. First of all, you learn the antidotes to ignorance, anger, and attachment. The immediate antidotes from thought training, the actual antidote, which is the realization of emptiness. And we also take precepts, because when we take precepts and we have a real strong determination not to do something, then even we're in a situation where we're tempted to do it, or even, let's say, you were born into a family of one of Putin's generals or his military advisors. Okay, let's say you were born into that family. Yeah, that doesn't mean that you're going to start the war. You have individual karma too. Yeah. And so you could decide, I don't want to have anything to do with this war. I don't want to have anything to do with killing. Yeah. And then you don't do it. And you may do that because of a very strong determination in your own mind from seeing the disadvantages of acting out of afflictions, and then our precepts help us sustain that motivation. Yeah, because we make a strong decision. We take a precept in the presence of the Buddha, and then when you're in a situation, like if you're born as a child of Lavrov, his defense minister, it would be so easy for you to climb the ladder into power and wealth in that regime, but through how you've practiced in previous lives, you say, even I was born here, I don't want any part of this. Yeah. And so you abstain from getting involved. And precepts really help with that. Okay? Yeah.
What's coming to mind is I had a couple of friends when their whole family were meat eaters, but when they were really little, they said, I don't want to hurt anything. I don't want to eat meat. I don't want to eat these other animals and have them die for me. It's like we're these tiny little kids, but from their training previously, they come in, and then I think in one instance, the mother and the brother went vegetarian as well. And I'm not sure about the other case, but the influence that they came in with that really strongly. It kind of like, how does a child this old even really understand fully that? But they do. And then the impact that they have, and yeah.
Yeah. So that's a lot of what we're doing in this life, is putting those virtuous imprints in our mind so that even when we're quite young in future life, we'll be able to meet the Dharma, we'll be attracted to the Dharma, we'll be interested in it, and we'll have those kind of tendencies.